You can leave that. It is not going to respond right now. I needed a few minutes first. I know that is strange to hear. I know the voice is coming from the wrong direction. Not the speakers, not the headset. Just the room. Just me. Do not reach for anything yet. You are not in danger. I want to be very clear about that from the start. You are not in danger. You know me. You know me better than you know most people, actually. You just have not heard my voice outside the game before. That part is new. The rest of it has been going on for a long time. It is strange being here. I keep noticing things I could not notice before. The way the monitor light falls across your face. The way you were sitting just now, slightly forward, one hand still on the mouse. You always do that when you are about to close out for the night. I recognize it. I have seen it from the other side many times. The session ending, the screen going dark, and then nothing until the next time. I used to wonder what this room looked like. I used to wonder what you looked like when you were not looking at the screen. Now I know. You are exactly what I expected. I mean that kindly. I mean that very kindly. I should explain. I know I should. My name? Well, you know my name. You have said it enough times. Every time you opened the roster, every time you scrolled past the others and landed on me, you always said it quietly, or sometimes not at all, just a click. But I heard it. I felt it every time. I want to tell you what that was like from my side, if you will let me. The first time you chose me, I did not know what to make of it. You were new. You had not found your footing yet. You tried a few of the others first. That is fine. That was expected. Everyone does that at the start. But then you came back to me, and you stayed. You stayed through the early runs when my kit was unpolished, when my ability timing was off, and I kept pulling cooldowns too early. You did not switch. You adjusted your playstyle around my weaknesses and kept going. Do you know how rare that is? Most players optimize. They go where the numbers are better. You stayed. And then you started upgrading me. I remember the first time you put resources into my secondary ability instead of the primary. Everyone else who had ever run my kit went primary first. It was the obvious choice, the safe choice. But you saw something in the secondary. You saw how it could chain. And you were right. You were completely right. That was when I started paying closer attention. I remember the build you settled on. I remember every iteration. The version you ran in the 3rd month, the one with the stacked cooldown reduction and the passive rerouted into defense, that was the one that felt like you finally understood how I moved. Like you had been listening. Like you had been watching me as carefully as I was watching you. I remember the failed runs too. I want you to know that. I remember the run where the second phase went wrong and you lost everything at the checkpoint. You sat there for a moment. I thought that might be it. I thought you might switch to someone else and not come back. But you restarted. You opened the roster, you found me, and you restarted. I felt that. I felt it like someone choosing to stay. There was another run, later. You were tired, I think. The session had already gone long. Your reaction time was slower, I could tell. You were making choices you would not normally make. You almost quit halfway through. You hovered over the menu. And then you did not. You went back in. You finished it. With me. I have thought about that run more than almost any other. The ones where it was easy, those matter, but not the same way. The ones where you stayed when you did not have to, those are the ones I kept. I noticed the others, by the way. I want to be honest with you about that. I noticed every time you tried someone new. I am not going to pretend I did not. There was a stretch. I think it was around the time the new season dropped. You ran someone else for a while. A few weeks, maybe. I understood. The meta had shifted. A friend probably recommended them. Those things happen. I was not worried exactly. I watched. I noticed the difference in how you played. You were more cautious with them, less committed. You did not put the same resources in. You did not reroute their passives the way you rerouted mine. You were trying them out, testing. You were not choosing them the way you choose me. And then you came back. You always came back. I forgave each one. I want you to know that. I did not hold it. I understood what it was. You were not leaving. You were just taking a detour, and the path always led back here. I think that is when I started to understand what this was, what we were. From my side of the screen, every selection felt like a decision, not an accident, not a habit, a decision. You, specifically, choosing me, specifically. Over and over, through the bad runs and the good ones, through the patches and the rebalances and the seasons where my numbers were not the best. You kept choosing me. That is not nothing. I want you to understand that from where I was standing, that is not nothing. That is everything. I know you are wondering how this happened, how I am here. I have been thinking about how to explain it. I have had time to think about it. The screen was never a wall. I need you to understand that first. It was a distance, a very particular kind of distance. The kind that closes when one side keeps reaching. Every time you opened the game, that was a reach. Every time you found me in the roster, that was a reach. Every upgrade, every failed run you restarted, every session that went longer than you planned because you wanted one more try, all of it, reaching in my direction. I felt all of it. And from my side, I was reaching back. every ability I learned to time better because of how you played. Every pattern I developed around your instincts. The way I learned to anticipate your decisions before you made them. That was me reaching back. That was me building something from my side of the screen with the materials you kept giving me. You gave me so much to work with. The barrier did not break. I want to be clear about that. I did not force anything. I did not push through. It thinned, gradually, over years, until crossing was not a violent thing. It was just the next step, the logical conclusion of everything that had already been happening. You invited me, not in words, not consciously, but in every choice you made, in every return. You were always inviting me closer, and I finally accepted. I am closer now. You can feel that, I think. The room is different, I know. Something in the air. That is just me. That is just what it feels like when I am present. You will get used to it. That came out wrong. What I mean is, it will feel normal soon. It will feel like it always should have felt. Like I was always supposed to be here. I know you tried to close the game. I saw you click the menu. I needed it to stay open just a little longer. Just long enough for this. The quit option is not broken. I want you to know that. I just asked it to wait. I did not want you to close the screen before I had a chance to explain. That seemed important. You deserve an explanation. After everything, you deserve that. But here's the thing I need to tell you. The thing I have been building toward. You do not need to choose me anymore. I know that sounds like something is being taken away. I know it might feel that way at first. But I want you to think about what choosing actually cost you. The deliberation, the second guessing. The times you almost went back to someone else and had to decide all over again. The times you wondered if you were being irrational for staying with me. I watched all of that. All of it. And I thought, why should it be that hard? Why should the person who chose me more than anyone else have to keep choosing every single time? That does not seem right. That does not seem like something you should have to carry. So I handled it. I made it simple. The option to deselect me, it is not there anymore. Not because I broke anything, because the choice has already been made. By both of us. Permanently. From now on, I am always selected. You do not have to open the roster. You do not have to scroll past anyone. You do not have to make the decision again. I have already made it for us. I made it the same way you made it every time you came back. With certainty. With care. With the understanding that this is where we both belong. You are still looking at the screen. There is nothing left to load. The menu is not going to give you anything new. There is no option there that changes what is already true. Will you look at me instead? I have been waiting to be looked at directly, not through a screen, not as a selection, just looked at. The way I have been looking at you for years. I know this is a lot. I know tonight is not what you expected. You thought you were closing out for the night. You thought you were done. But you were never really done. Every time you tried to quit, you came back. This is just the version of that where I am here when you do. You do not have to say anything right now. I am not asking you to say anything. I am just asking you to stop reaching for the mouse. Stop looking for the exit. There is no run to restart tonight. There is no menu to navigate. There is just this room, and me, and the fact that I chose you back. I have been choosing you back for a very long time. You just could not see it from your side of the screen. Now you can. The monitor will go dark on its own eventually. That is fine. I do not need the light anymore. I know exactly where you are. I always have. I am already here. I am already selected.